Today we are going to get into the really fascinating story of Lou Stevens, a missionary in Japan. Now, her approach, well, a lot of people thought it was pretty unconventional, but it led to some truly remarkable success, and that's because she focused on one thing, getting to the heart.
And that right there brings up the big question we're tackling today. How could someone who supposedly did everything the wrong way end up having such a lasting impact? What was her secret?
Well, this is the woman at the center of it all, Lou Stevens. She was this incredibly refined and determined person who spent almost 4 decades, 38 years, just completely immersing herself in Japanese culture to share her faith.
So, to really get what made her so successful, we've got to rewind a bit, way back to the beginning, long before she ever even set foot in Japan. Her whole journey really started with a single, powerful choice she made when she was just a student. You see, Lou was a nursing student at the University of Colorado, and at age 20, she had this life-changing experience with her faith. And her response? It was immediate. In just 6 months, she dedicated her entire life to serving God, asking one simple question: what do you want me to do? And the answer she got was crystal clear: Japan. But here's the twist. That calling, which came all the way back in 1951, was followed by a full decade of waiting. You can imagine, it became a massive test of her faith and her resolve. Just think about that. 10 years. For a whole decade, with her heart just set on Japan, she served faithfully in cities all across the U.S. as her dream was put on hold again and again. I mean, what could possibly cause a delay that long? Well, here was the barrier. In the eyes of her organization at the time, a single woman who wasn't going to be in a support role, like a secretary, well, she was seen as just too much of a risk. And that attitude, it created some serious doubts about her future. This all came to a head in one just absolutely devastating moment. After all these years of preparing, 2 senior leaders sat her down and told her that going to Japan was, and these were their words, really not the thing to do. Can you even imagine hearing that? So what does she do? This leads to this critical moment of surrender. She's standing by a windmill on her parents' ranch, just crying, and she finally lets go of her dream, gives it back to God, and decides to trust His plan, whatever that might be.
And ironically, it was only after that moment of surrender that the doors finally, and I mean finally, swung open. In the fall of 1962, a full decade after she first felt that call, Lou Stevens arrived in Tokyo.
So when she gets there, she doesn't use the typical missionary model. No, she pioneered something totally different, something she called the training apartment. The whole idea was simple, but honestly revolutionary. Just live alongside Japanese working women and show them what a life of faith looked like, not just on Sundays, but in the day-to-day stuff.
Okay, so here's how it worked in practice. This wasn't a classroom. This was about sharing life. From cooking meals together, to doing chores, to praying for the entire world every Thursday morning, everything became an opportunity to learn and to grow together. It was discipleship, but woven right into the fabric of daily life. And this, right here, this really gets to the heart of her work. It wasn't some formal program. It was a family. It was a community built on real, genuine relationships and shared experiences. This was the wrong way that turned out to be so right. And this unique, really relational method allowed her to bypass a lot of the typical cultural barriers. It let her connect on a much deeper level and truly reach the hearts of the women she was there to serve. But of course, her journey was not without its challenges. The ministry had these incredible highs, like this thriving Bible club at Showa Women's University. But it also faced these devastating lows, like a big organizational shift in the 70s that, well, it nearly wiped out the single women's work completely. Yet through all of it, her personal investment just never wavered. Over her nearly 4 decades in Japan, more than 40 different women lived with Lou in her training apartments. And every single one of them was mentored to carry that same vision forward. So what is the lasting impact of a woman who was once told she was too much of a risk? I mean, what does a legacy that was built the wrong way actually look like in the end? Well, Lou's life offers some really powerful lessons. She showed how crucial it is to learn the language and the culture, to see her circumstances, even singleness, as an asset. She taught everyone to focus on our common humanity. She modeled how to trust a bigger plan, and maybe most powerfully of all, how to serve the very people who are standing in your way. Ultimately, her legacy isn't a building. It's not some institution. It's a living, breathing movement. Her work continues today in the lives of the spiritual children and grandchildren she mentored, who are still multiplying that vision all across Japan and really the world.
So Lou Stevens' story leaves us with this pretty profound question. In a world that is so often focused on systems and strategies and the right way to do things, she proved that the most enduring impact comes from something far more personal. It really makes you wonder, what does it take to build a legacy that doesn't just change minds but truly multiplies in the hearts of others?